All right. So before we talk about the how to work with the files that provide for second project, at the meantime, while we are doing the basic camera, one more more detail. Um, Make sure you download those files into your computer and extract them. Might take a little bit of time because if 2 or 3 people try to copy those files at the same time, so do it. Is on the link, and you should get the zip file called Mars something Chase, if I remember correct. Let me check. One moment. While you are watching this lecture, it should be. Now I don't remember where. It should be, yes, Mars Chase zip. Okay, and then I'll. Huh? It's in D2L. Look at on project 2. Did I send it on the one moment, let me just to make sure. If I post it on news, did I do that? Anybody remember? Oh, here. Oh, no, that's a movie. Infinite homework. Nope. Let me go to term project 2. Hey guys, people from online, did you receive my link to that file? Mars Chase?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have it too.
Where it was? Where did I put it? Class lecture, right?
Oh, here it is. It's in the class lecture information. Day week 3, day 2.0.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes. So that's it. Okay, right there. They put 2. Right here. Okay. Good. So, okay, we'll come back on that one. All right. So let's talk about camera quick. I'm gonna turn on field chart. Okay. So, and class, this is general, custom render, working. Okay, so now when you hold Alt key with right mouse button, so basically you tumble the scene. You are not really, you tumble the scene, and if you track like this, right? This is track actually considered as a combination of a pan and dolly. Okay, in the term of the camera movement, the track is more like you rotate to the side, left and right, and then till you rotate up and down like this. And then you have roll. Roll is you roll in Z direction, or it depends. And then you have dolly and zoom. So now I don't want you to use this. Like, for example, if you select retumble and then you set the key on that. Don't do that. Okay. I want you to do individual individual set of transform, like either translate, rotate, or rotate. Now, when you animate though, I'm gonna use the let's talk about the camera quick, and then I'm gonna use the roller coaster scene to show it to you. So these are camera, a new camera. Here we go. So dolly can be dolly from forward or backward, or even dolly to left and right. That's dolly. But now tilt though is rotate. In this case, is rotate X. That's tilt. And then pan like this. And then roll this way. So now I have seen a lot of you animate the camera moving up and down, left and right. But then your problem is when you move, can you see? If you move like this, it's fine. But then when you try to rotate at the same time, you have to control the rotate direction, because the problem with the lots of you did is you lost the horizontal line. You either crooked, like, see, if I do manually, I will get more chance to control that horizontal line, because some of you, it's become like this, moving, woo, woo. So you compete with the movement of your subject. See, it's really hard when you do that. And now, there are certain things you wanted to really create that look, but not always, because if you look at in the movie, it's really rare. And except for the fighting scene with the aircraft and things like that, you will see a roll. But then they control camera really well by using the rotate and scale. Now the problem with this is right now my rotate is on the object. That's why you got a little confused, because it's based on the world space. Now what you can do though, you could make it better by create another group node that control only roll, or constrain only roll. Roll is this direction, and then tilt is X direction, and then pan. So that you can mimic like crane shot, or mimic a stabilizer, like with your, some of you have camera just like keep rolling like this. Some of your, and then see, it's really hard to watch. So you have to be able to control it, okay? And I will show you how to do a little bit of things. Now, if you, let's me open up the scene. Let me show you something quick. Roller coaster. And this one I just, yep, that's okay. Color space. Yep. So now, this I set the camera point of view camera. I just name it. So basically, let me show point of view camera, motion, point of view, motion, card. They connected to, I parented to the card. So this is a point of view camera. That's a small one there. So now, let me make sure of, I set all view. I'm gonna active playback all view so that we can see all full view moving. So now, watching, this is the how point of view camera see. So, can you see? I keep maintain the horizontal line. So horizontal lines doesn't change, but it does follow the card. Here we go. You could do really simple technique by using a regular camera and then constrain point only, not orientation, so that it doesn't rotate it. It just follow the parenting of this locator. This locator basically I parented to the card. Now you could do another way. You could actually use a camera aim, and then you just put the aim somewhere in front of somewhere, and then you just parent it to the card. So I will show you how to do that. And Now, you might want to do something like, for example, I don't remember who did that. Like, you move the camera up and rotate at the same time, like try to pivot to see. You could do that too. Like, for example, if I create a new camera and I'm gonna use just only a camera with no aim yet. Okay, create camera. There we go. Now I'm gonna go to frame 1. I wanted to position that camera. So my new camera I'm gonna call, how about up and circle around the set. And I just have to name something that I know what it is. So I'm gonna change the panel to that camera, up circle, here we go. I'm gonna turn on field chart, and then I'm gonna scale my camera display a little larger so that I can see. Now, I'm gonna just move it first to get the position I wanted. Here we go. So, let me lock my layer there, referencing. Here we go. So that I won't select it. Yes. Okay. So, I'm gonna position. Now, when you position the camera, like for example, if it's low angle, the subject will become more dominant. Like for example, if I do low and a little rotated, put it down. I think I have to go closer because I started to penetrate the ground. Here we go. Okay. And I don't think I like this spot. I want it to be, how about that? Now, I have to check my orientation. So let me move it out a little bit. So now started to crooked. Rotate. Okay. So now what I want is, I want this camera to pivot right here and rotate it while going up at the same time. Okay. So now if you're gonna animate right here, can you see there's so many numbers that, and you can't freeze the camera neither. So what you need to do is you need to nesting with the group node to control it. So first I'm gonna add, create, group this, edit group it to itself, and then I have to make sure I name it properly so that I can identify what it is. This one I'm gonna call rotate or pivot, something like that. Pivot GP, and I'm gonna change the pivot point to, let's pretend I'm gonna press D. I'm gonna move this pivot point right around the center of the whole set. And let me test, because that position might not be good. Now I'm gonna rotate on perspective. I can set the key from here. Can you see? Because it's there. Now we're gonna focus on looking at the view. See if it rotates correctly. Here we go. See, and horizontal line are still stay. So it means you maintain the orientation so that the viewer can follow the movement of the cart itself, not competing with the, because the camera doesn't really compete with the motion of the cart. So now I'm gonna add one more group, because this will animate only rotate y-axis, right here, y-axis. So what I could do is I could lock this so that I know that I'm not going to hide them yet, just lock selected, so that you can't set the key. So now I'm gonna add another one, edit group on top of the pivot group on top of it because we want the pivot group to go up, follow it too. Okay, so I mean, if you think another way, people who did do rigging before, you can actually don't have to group. You could use constraint and limit pivot constraint only orientation and force only y-axis. And then you have another group node or locator to control the position of the camera. So they all separated. And then you animate separate two controller. Now, if I use group node, my problem is I will not be able to see the, well, we can, hold on. Let me do group this before I keep talking. So this one, now this hierarchy has 3. The top one I'm gonna call, how about dolly, camera, not up circle, up dolly. Okay. And I'm gonna put camera to GP. Just try to match the name. I should have removed the word to. And GP. GP is a group node, as you remember. So now on the GP, you may want it to change the pivot point somewhere close to the center. It would be better if they are matched. Like for example, I turn this on, and the pivot group and the dolly group should be matched. Let me display the pivot because the pivot group is good. I like that position on the center. So I'm going to go to display, transform display, and selection handle so that I can see a crosshair of pivot group. Easy to select. Now, the reason that become a crosshair because this group that handle are under another main group. So now the main group will be different. Let me go to display again. Will be different icon. If you remember, can you see? So the good things about this is I can reposition the pivot point of the main group to match with that group. So I can select, press D, turn on move to, and press D. And then I'm gonna hold V key and just move to, let it snap to the circle. And then when I press D, can you see pivot point change, but the display doesn't change, which is good. You can move your display if you remember. You select the main dolly up dolly camera group, turn on a component editor. Then let me expand this and turn everything off, but turn on a selection handle, and then you can grab that handle and then you can move around. I would shift it off so that we can see it. We can select much easier. So I'm gonna go back to the object mode. Now, when I look at on here, let's do it. So let's see how much do I want. I think I can go with about 200. Oh, it's going to be too fast, so let's do all 300 here. So going to go to frame 1, select the pivot group first. I'm going to press the key because I locked the other, can you see? So I can press S without right click and only one attribute because we locked them. And I got to do 360 degree on frame 360. I'm gonna turn on this is a auto key button right here, auto key. So go to frame 360. Now I'm gonna type 360, press enter to execute it. So now it's keying. Just watch on this camera to up circle. Here we go. A little fast, but can you see? Now this is too fast, so now it's compete with the. It has to be like way too slower in this. So let me make it even slower. So let me reduce. How about just only 120? Let me check. Because just remember, camera movement should be slower than the motion. Otherwise, it's competing still too fast. So let me do 60. Oh, oops, sorry. Wrong. Undo. I select the group pivot right here. Let's do 60. Slower. Hey, how come my shortcut doesn't work on playback today? Did I? Okay, so now I think this is good for now. So now I'm gonna move up. So frame 1, go to the up dolly, and this is gonna go up in Y direction. So let me lock everything else. So I just select and drag to highlight all like this, and then I hold Control key and subtract. Translate Y. This is how you multi-selection and subtract on the channel box. Okay, so I'm gonna lock it. And now on frame 1, I press S. Go to last frame. I can press S again, or you can start it to move, and then you can move. I'm gonna do it just really little move because I don't want it to compete with my motion. So now this is what I get. Here we go. Can you see it's rotate at the same time, really slow rotation, and then move. So can you see that? You can see motion really clear. Plus, you kind of framing your composition. You don't want the audience to get confused, like which direction the card really move, and something like that. So just try to control it. Now, what about, let me change to different camera, do another rig. What about you want a camera to follow, let's say this scene, how about that shot? You want, let's say the cart moving, the camera doesn't rotate, but follow to see the cart pass through. It's like, I don't know if you can see my hand on the thumbnail. Hold on. Is there any other camera here? Let me, one moment. Because might be good to see the hand too. So you want it to be, let's say, oh, right here. This is the cart. How about that? This is the cart, right? Cart will come from this direction and go to the other direction and then get off the screen, and then you can do another shot. Now, what if you want the camera to be, oh, well, that's not working. Okay, let me do it on screen, sorry. So I'm gonna create a new camera, edit, create new camera. This time I'm gonna use aim. If I use, let me try this camera quick. Okay, so if I do camera 2, let me switch. Camera 2, okay. And I'm gonna try to match with that. I could duplicate that camera and then unparent so that I can get, maybe I should do that so that you guys can see how to copy them. So I'm gonna select this camera, the circle camera, and then I'm gonna go to edit, duplicate. No. So after I duplicate it, can you see same angle? Let me go back to number up circle 3. Okay, so I'm gonna select that up circle 3. It's still under the group. Let me rename this. Gonna call, how about follow. Just follow, like not like follow, like go with it. It's just like a, how about point of view follow, POV follow. I don't remember what the term they use. So I have to unparent from everything here. So I'm gonna unparent. So that is outside. So if I scrap timeline, can you see? I could just see only the card going off the frame. And you should use those type of camera that let the subject move off the frame so that you can cut to another angle. So in this case, I am not going to make the camera look at the card all the time. I want it to just look in certain time and let the the card get off. So now you would think that you could do like this. I'm gonna turn on rotate 2. So from frame 1, right? Let me. Hey guys, when the camera, when you reposition, these are is considered as a pivot mode. So let me group the camera to itself. Modify center pivot. So I should start it fresh. This one I'm gonna call same name. I'm gonna just name rotate group. Name the camera. And let me add rotate group. Okay, so that we know what it is. So I'm gonna rotate only y-axis again. So I'm gonna lock everything else except y. Okay, so I'm gonna set the first key there and let these come right around here, and I will start it to follow. So I'm gonna press S again, and then let's see how far that goes. So how about just only 100 frame? Okay, and I'm gonna press S one more time. Now I'm gonna start it to rotate that group node to control the camera so that I can see the card. Here we go. Let's see how it looks. Right there. Can you see? It started to follow. And it's okay to let it off screen. So if you don't, you can just go back to this screen. You might have to change the number 100 keyframe on 100 again. So I can turn right here and set another key and then rotate it a little more. Here we go. And then see how it looks. So follow. I'm looking at on this window. Hold on, let me, yep. So follow. Now can you see you control the horizontal lines better. So that's it. And then if you wanted to move it up, also you can add another group node and move it up while you're doing that. Does it make sense, people from online? I hope you guys, can you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I was not sure. So now, when you do composition, you will have to turn. I like to use field chart all the time. These, I think, is printed to the ground. I mean, the model, not the scene still on the horizontal line still keep straight line. So these are model problem, guys. So so what else do I need? Yes. So now what about we use something different? Another camera that can create a real, the effect is so similar. You can try, let me create a new camera called camera and aim. Here we go. So this is new camera. And let me go back to frame 1 again. So camera and aim, I'm gonna move the, I wanted to move the camera. So you can move the camera group, the whole thing, to relocate it, both camera and the aim. Can you see camera and the aim? Is this group. If you grab only camera, you move only camera and aim, it stay put. You can reposition the aim by grabbing the camera aim icon here is a locator, and then you can reposition. And can you see? So basically, it's camera will stay fixed orientation, pointing at to the position of that aim. So now, what you can do with this is you can attach the aim to the card. So now, if I group it, it might give a different look. Let's say if I just parenting it. So now, let me change my camera view to the aim one. Camera one aim. So, oh, I think it's a camera two aim, no. Camera two group. What is the name of my camera again? One moment. Oh, I was in the wrong camera. Sorry, I got confused. See, when I don't name it right, it confused me too. Camera 2. Camera 2. Here we go. Let me go to frame 1. Let me change the location. How about, oh, right there. Here we go. Okay. So now let's turn on a frame. I think I'm gonna move my camera a little bit. Okay. And I'm gonna rotate the camera. Oh, it's aiming, so I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to move. There we go. Backward. Move. Okay. So I think my aim is too low. Gonna aim that camera, okay? So let me turn on a field chart because I want to see the composition. Now it's to center. So let me move the camera this way. So I try to work with a rule of third. There we go. And let me move that even closer. Might be easier to figure it out. Okay. So I just reposition. And still okay, pretend that this is it. Maybe let me move this one more time, all of them together. Okay, so now when the card move, can you see it follow? But then look at my horizontal line, still straight line. So the action is more clear, but these are similar technique as the the previous technique that I use a regular camera and use a group to control. Now I think this should help a lot more now. Let me do another one. One more thing, regular camera, or you can use a camera aim, camera number 3, here we go. So camera number 3, if I group it, use another group node again, and I change the group node to there. Now, if I rotate the group node like this, can you see? Here we go. The camera follow, right? Follow the orientation and the position. So now, what if I'm gonna do something different? I'm gonna ungroup this. I'm gonna make the camera act like a crane, controlled by crane. So if you think of crane, basically, if you compare to the crane to the IK handle, it's the same thing, but the crane is basically you rotate the first section and then you rotate another section, right? That's forward kinematics. I'll show you visually, but let me show you this quick. So I'm gonna use locator because you can use group node and turn on a display handle, but locator you will see it right away. So that's the locator, and I'm gonna do a locator pivot at the cart. And the camera, let me change my, here we go, like this. Okay. So now I'm gonna constrain only point. So I select the locator, shift select the camera 3, the one that I wanted, and then I switch menu to rigging, constrain. I'm gonna open up option for point, turn on maintain offset. Okay. So now when, let me change the rotation orientation to objects, to workspace. Now when I rotate, oh, I select the wrong one. Here we go. Oh, guys, I clicked the wrong camera. See, when I don't name it, I got confused myself too. Now, okay, this is the right one. Whatever. Let me scale it bigger. All right. And I'm gonna select that and then go to camera number 3. Let me scale the camera number 3. A little bigger. Okay. So let me make sure. Good. One moment, guys. Okay, good. All right. Whew. So, I think, oh wait, I scaled the wrong one again. Where am I? Oh, yeah, this one. Let me change, I think, let me reduce the lecture time a little bit. Let me change this to camera aim because easier. I'm gonna pick that camera, aim, and aim to the card. There we go. I'm gonna move a little bit. Okay. So now I have this aiming going on here, right here. So camera 3, right? If I select that and I rotate, there we go. So now what we can do, if I do like this, is also changing the orientation of the aim. So what I can do, let me undo. Here we go. Okay. So what I can do though, I can add a little extra controller on the aim camera. So I'm gonna add a group node, Control G, and then I name some like camera crane or something like that. So let me put the name so that you won't get confused. There we go. Group 3, GP. Okay, so now I could animate only on the group node on top of the camera. So if I do like this, can you see? It's rotated, but it doesn't change orientation of the point of view at all. So changes only where the camera look, but the point of view are still stay. So now I would not do 360 over 360 80 degrees. So it should be just like that. Can you see? So also, if you just want the camera to go circle, it's just like what the first one did. You just group it to itself, change the group node to somewhere. Like, let me review again one more time about camera circle around. So this is a new camera. I'm gonna scale the shape a little bit. Panel, camera full. So dolly it out, and then you just group it to itself. Control D, just press D, so that you can change the position of the pivot point of the new group anywhere you want. And then when I rotate it, it will go like this again. So I think that's it. And I like you to experiment this with a your new scene, or if you wanted to, I'm not going to make you redo the camera shot on roller coaster again. So we're gonna start it to work on our second project. So now, any questions about the setting camera? If you have more, you can contact me and I'll help you. I'll walk you through it, how to do it. Now, after today, though, I want you to think about what kind of action you want it to happen to your animation. And I would suggest you to look at on reference that I put it on. Camera reference, flying action. There's a drone, there's an airplane from real life, and then you have action from film. Now, these are car. John Wick is, no, I think it's on the same, here we go. Action scene, and then real life reference. Here we go. Going Sonic. I thought I put the word real life somewhere. Here we go. Idea from the point of view chart, real life. So I want you to look at, I would encourage you to look at all of them. And then later on, you could pick any film or any action sequence that you like. You can combine them or optimize them as you want it. And then you come up with the I wanted to put a new submission by Monday, not this Friday. Friday, let's see if I have to do another. Let's see how far we go. We might not need a lecture on Friday, but we may though. Next week, your homework will be you design the camera shot for your scene. So basically, you create a concept shot. You don't have to do animation at all, just still image. However, you could, for example, if you wanted to have a, let's say, car pass by and camera follow for a little bit, and you could do just like a moving car with how many frames you wanted and set up the camera and render and hardware rendering it out. It's fine to show, or you just do a screenshot of your image of your camera. Like when I talk about that, it's mean like this. You want this shot, this is the first shot, and then you can describe that what's happening inside that shot. So if you do screen cap on this, make sure you turn on a field chart. Oh no, not field chart. Resolution gate, so that I can see that, okay, this is your composition, so that I can see like what the direction your subject is going, and make sure you continue to keep the subject going to the same direction unless it changes direction. If it's not, if the car go from left to right, and keep it go left to right, unless it's make it turn to different way. So that does it make sense? And Are you guys doing okay?
Yeah.
So basically, you just screen capture this shot. Like for example, this is going to be my shot 1, and this is going to be my shot 2, stuff like that. Okay. So, if I were you, I would pick one or two and combine them, or just one and eliminate things. Just focus on the action and camera. That's it. You can borrow the camera. You can and try to use the knowledge that you get from those advanced broadcasting video that I gave. Those cameras are really basic, but believe me, it's really good. And long time ago when I was in BGSU, there's one grad student. He used those techniques. So he actually doing he work at, right now he work in Disney, but he doing management for the animation team. But before that, he did a editing for DreamWorks. And he literally said he just used those simple technique, nothing fancy at all. So anyway, all right, so this is a reference I'd like you to watch. I'm not going to watch with you because I watched all of them already. And so now let's talk about, let me stop this video and